Hey guys, what's going on? Honest Abe coming at you with another video. We're out here at Athens today where we are going to review the Lattitude 64 Peak and the Westside Crown. Let's get into it. This is Honest Abe Disc Golf. All right, guys. So we are here, I said today, at Athens Regional again. And we got the Lattitude 64 Peak and we have the Westside Crown. So I like both of these discs right now that I'm using in my my punishment bag from our failed challenge attempt for our 100th UDisc round. But yeah, so we're out here. We're going to throw a couple shots today, and then we're going to shoot it back to the office where we are going to kind of talk about it and do a review. But real quick, I actually looked it up. The Peak is a 3301. It's not a 34, but it does tend to have a little bit more glide. And the Westside Crown is a 3401. So the Crown technically has a little bit more glide, it says, but the Peak seems to sail just as well. So let's just throw a couple shots here today. The red basket in the distance is about 200 feet away. And so we're going to see what we get. We're going to do some half bids. We're going to try some forehands and whatnot. And then I'll let you guys know what I think. Just going to go flat and just straight with it this time. With the Peak. Okay. Westside Crown. Flat and straight. All right, let's go take a look. So the Peak went about 160, and then the Westside Crown went about 150, and that was just throwing it pretty easy, pretty flat and pretty straight. So I want to put a little bit more on these right now before these storms roll in and try to get a couple more shots for you guys. All right, so the Crown went 190 and the Peak went about 203. So pretty good distance, just on giving a decent full bid, maybe about 80%. But let's try the forehand on a couple shots here and see what we can do. Well, that was a no good roller. I will say the Peak is a little bit deep. All right. These discs definitely don't like my forehand grip. Let's see what happens. So both of those didn't like my forehand very well, especially when I just released it flat. I'm going to try to put a little bit of hyzer on these ones and see if it'll flip up to flat. The wind is picking up right now, as you can probably tell, but it'll be still a good test. So a little bit of hyzer on these ones, see if it'll pop up to flat. Okay, yeah, that definitely panned out pretty good. Okay, let's try it with the Peak. That one still doesn't like my forehand. Okay. All right, so the Crown actually flipped up and it went a little over 200. Not bad. Peak just rolled out. It actually rolled past the Crown, but not very good. I want to try a couple more of these on the back end. Hyzer and hyzer, and then we're going to send it back to the office. First, we'll go with a hyzer. Okay, not bad. All right, let's see what happened. So the peak went about 170, and the crown on that hyzer went about 185. So not too bad. I want to try to put these on a little bit of anhyzer this shot, kind of see if they turn out and roll or if they actually pan out a little bit. Let's go with the crown first. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, probably about the 170, 180 range. The peak. I slipped there, but that's okay. Didn't go as far. It died out, died immediately. All right. The crown went about 170, 175 on that anhyzer high shot, and the peak it stalled out and died at about 152 ish. So yeah, I want to try to rip these again one more good time, just flat, straight at the basket, see what they do. Let's go with the crown first. Then we got our peak. Put a little touch of hyzer on that one, but still pretty good. All right, so this final shot, so the crown went 185 and the peak went 195. So definitely a good bit of glide there on that, just on a little bit of hyzer. So let's send it back to Office Abe and see what's going on. All right, guys, Office Abe checking in with you. So what do I think about the peak and the crown? Well, initially I thought the peak was a 3401, the same as a crown, but Latitude does have it labeled just as a 33. However, I will say the peak flies farther than the crown, or glides farther than the crown. It glides farther than a PA3 because I have thrown them together as well. In one of the previous videos when I just received the peak. So the peak, it comes in a couple different plastics. So I have the Zero Medium Orbit, which I believe is what Isaac uses. It also comes in the Royal and then like the Sense. And those ones are, I think the Royal is like a $24 putter. So that's probably their premium putter, that their throwing putter, kind of like the 500 Ultra, or the 500 plastic from Prodigy. The Westside basically becomes in PT. This is the soft one, so this is the very soft. It's not ultra soft, but it is pretty dang soft. It also comes in the medium and the hard, and then they have a couple like X outs of, I think, the medium and hard that this comes in as well. So overall, I can't make a full assessment because I don't have all the plastics for these discs. However, I will immediately say that I love the crown, the way that it picks up and it glides, especially even on my forehand when I threw the forehand. The first throw, when I threw it flat, it just wobbled and rolled. But when I threw it on the hyzer, it flipped up and it panned out to over 200 feet, which was great. The peak is a little bit deeper than the crown, and it's a pretty deep putter. But it is nice board flat, which is what I really like. And so it does have a nice straight glide. And for throwing a backhanded putter, this thing is great. The peak is amazing. It feels almost identical to my PA3s, and it just glides just a little bit further. The crown has a little bit more of a bead on it than the peak, so this one is very minimal bead, and the crown definitely has a lot bigger bead on it. Overall, I like both of these discs. I could see myself putting with both of these if I had to give up the PA3. I do like the crown. I like the way it feels in my hand, especially the soft plastic, because I throw a 300 soft, and then I also have a couple ultra soft, and then I have the premium plastics already in my bag for my Prodigy bag. So I could see myself, you know, picking up maybe a medium or a hard, and or more the harder premium plastic, and seeing how these fly as well. And same goes with the Peak. I wouldn't mind getting the Sense plastic, and then I think it's the Royal plastic out of these, and just kind of throwing them, testing them out, seeing how they fly as well. But as just as a go-to like backup putter, if somehow I lost all my PA3s, I think the Peak would probably be it. A lot of people have copied the PA3 in the past, and it looks like Lattitude has done that here. They have copied the PA3. I know Gannon Burr, when he went to, was it the Discmania or Dynamic Disc, or wherever he went, I forget. He copied the PA3 when he went there. So a lot of people have copied the PA3. A lot of people seem to like the PA3. I throw the PA3. I like the PA3. So is the Peak my new putter? I don't know. I'm Honest Dave. We'll see you in the next one.